Minister, Comrade Mark Jefferson Golden.
Marky G, I know you a champion. Everybody wave on your right hand. Put up your fist. Hey, Marky G, we don't know, so none of them not like me. See them all hype up, but that still not spite me. Holding a cut and cut you because I love in our heart. And none of them can. Hey, Marky G, we don't know. So
he's out. Comrade Chairman, comrades on the platform, all the councillors, all of the caretakers, our wonderful candidates for West and Central, Westmoreland, and most of all of the comrades who are here in Grange Hill tonight. The place Cork, PNP River come down bank to bank here in Grange Hill. Town over in eastern Westmoreland, and then we toured Central and we've toured West, and here we are in Grange Hill. And I must tell you, I feel very confident now that this parish is going to be orange. Come the 3rd of September, we will return to the column of the People's National Party.
Due to unfavorable financial condition, I am unable to cope with this financial situation. It's causing an inflation upon creation.
From this parish, them Africa be comrades, you've had this experiment with Labour Party government here in this parish. And as I drove around today and I see the deplorable condition of the roads, I realize that this is not the right government for the people of Westmoreland. And I know that there are parts of Westmoreland that are suffering from a lack of water supply. And you know, I have installed Leon here in Western Westmoreland with particular responsibility for water. So you know that if the People's National Party is with you and we are in government, good things will happen here in Westmoreland. Westmoreland has always been good to the PNP after so many years. And I'm asking you to once again create a situation where all three are with us so that we have the strength now to deliver for you. And I believe, based on what I've seen today, that we will get that strength from you and that you will entrust us with the responsibility of delivering for you. Comrades, when we look back at the history of Jamaica, every time the PNP has been in government, we have had to do something transformational for Jamaica. In the era of Daddy Manley back in the 50s, from 55 through to 61, 62, Jamaica was transformed by industrialization. The bauxite and aluminum industry was taken to another level. Common entrance was introduced so that people could attend secondary school who are from humble beginnings. And Jamaica had one of the highest rates of economic growth in the world under Norman Washington Manley's government. Then the Labourites won in 62 and ruled till 72. And poverty and unemployment and underdevelopment start the land. Jamaica remained in a colonial mindset where the majority of Jamaican people couldn't aspire for the better things in life and the better jobs that the economy was providing. And Michael Joshua Manley was brought into power, and there was a great social transformation of Jamaica, where everybody became somebody. And people who previously, because of the color of their skin, couldn't even serve in banks and so on, all of that was mashed down, and Jamaica became a place of real opportunity for the majority of our citizens. And for women, we had the laws that were passed to give you equal pay and maternity leave for the workers of this country. Laws were passed to establish the Industrial Disputes Tribunal to give you justice in the workplace. And so many other important institutions were established to uplift the people of Jamaica and give them a better life, like the National Housing Trust. And Jamal, for those who couldn't read and write, the adult literacy program. Then Siaga's era was in the 80s. And again, Jamaica suffered. And we developed a massive debt under Siaga. And when Michael Manley won back in 1989, the PNP began an 18-year stretch where we modernized the infrastructure of the country. And we built a whole load of important institutions to support a better life for the people. Roads and seaports and airports were built. The telecom sector was liberalized so that telecoms could become a norm where everybody had a cell phone. And of course, we introduced the PATH program for those who need help, the Drug for Elderly program, the National Health Fund, and so many other things were done. Then the Labourites came in, and they took the economy to the threshold of collapse under Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness. And when we were brought into power at the end of 2011, there began a period of just 4 years where the economy of the country was put on a sustainable footing. We passed the laws to establish the fiscal rules. We developed the architecture to make sure that the economy could flourish. And the tax revenues began to increase, the fiscal space increased, and the debt started to come down. So when Andrew Holness says that it's the Labour Party who has rescued Jamaica, we have to mash down that lie. It is the People's National Party under Portia Simpson Miller and Peter Phillips who did the hard work. And I was Minister of Justice, passing the necessary laws on their behalf to make it happen.
War is in the dance, war is tonight. We say war is in the dance, war is tonight.
And then in 2016 March, the Labourites were back in power. And they've been in power since then. They haven't built one school in the last 10 years in Jamaica. The economy has hardly grown. Although the Prime Minister's Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation, he has been a total failure in that position because the growth has been stagnant. They don't know how to move this country out of the rut that we're in now. They have no vision for the country to move forward. And that is why time come for a new government of the People's National Party to give the Jamaican people. The next PNP government is going to deal with the real serious issues affecting the country. We see the education underperforming, and we see absenteeism from school as one of the major causes why the primary school children only have a 30% or 30% of our children leaving primary school cannot read and write, cannot do basic arithmetic. So we're going to have the EASE program to ensure every child who needs it gets help with a hot, nutritious meal at school every day. Whether it be primary or secondary school, the PNP will deliver that. And the money to finance that program is going to be spent with our farmers because they will be the ones producing the food that will be used to make the meals for the children under the EASE program. So that $9 billion of expenditure will go into the local economy to help our farmers do better business. And for those families that are struggling with the cost of transportation to take their children to school, we have the RIDE program where we're going to send out social workers and guidance counselors and find out why the children are not attending school. Go to their homes. And if it's transportation, that's the problem. We have the RIDE program to give you a subsidy, $10,000 per month per child to cover the cost of transportation to school. And that money will be spent with local transport operators again. So the money will run through the local economy and help them do better business. We will expect and ensure that the best are chosen to do that so the children are carried safely. And when it comes to land and housing, we're going to transform the situation faced by hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans who live on public land now and don't have a title to their house. Under the colonial masters, the law was fixed where you had to live on public land for at least 60 years before you could get a title. We're going to reduce that to 25 years so people who are living on public land for 25 years can get them title. And if you haven't achieved the 25 years yet, and you're well established and you want to buy the land that you're on, we will sell it to you for a reasonable price on terms that you can manage. We want the Jamaican people to be owners in this country. Double houses for the people. Our target is 50,000 houses in the first term of office. At least 500 houses in each constituency. Central, East and West, and 500 houses each at least. And we're gonna build those houses on public lands that are not suitable for agriculture. And when we sell the houses to the people, we're gonna make sure it's at an affordable price, because we're not gonna include the value of the land in the price of the house. So you're getting that as a bargain, as barter. So you'll be immediately better off when you buy that house than you were before. And we're gonna reform the National Housing Trust to make sure that it's helping the people, helping young people with a deposit fund to give them a grant, money they don't have to pay back, $500,000 to pay down on their first home if they're up to 45 years old. And we have the rent-to-own program. So those who can qualify for a mortgage now, they can go into occupation of those houses as a tenant, pay the rent, which will be equivalent to the mortgage. And if they sustain the rent for 6 months, we will treat that as qualifying them for a mortgage. They can draw down the loan, buy the house, and move from being a tenant to being an owner. If you work in the hotel industry, the PNP government is going to implement tax-free tips and gratuity for you, so that your gratuity and your tips are not taxed, and there'll be more money in your pocket when you get paid. And if you're a security guard, or you're a police officer, or you're a nurse, or anybody else, whether private or public sector, who earns overtime, if you're earning less than $6 million a year, your overtime pay will be tax-free under the PNP. You'll have more money in your pocket. And comrades, we have several other policies to support important groups in the society, to establish funds, dedicated funds, to provide financial support for the churches, to help them in their social work, their outreach, because we know that they take care of a lot of vulnerable people, elderly people, and others who need help. We are going to have a fund to partner with the churches so that they can do more in the communities of the type of work they want to do. We're going to have a fund for persons with disabilities as well, to support them so they can get opportunities to earn income at home, set them up in a business, get the assistive aids they need so they can see or whatever it is they need to deal with their disability, and to set up the sidewalks so the wheelchairs can roll and they can move around without the challenges that they now face. And young people, we're going to establish a young entrepreneurs fund, a youth innovation fund that will allow young people to get financing, to get a bus if they want to establish their own business. We're going to fund it with $1 billion and top it up every year, because young people need help in this country to become successful in business. And we're going to have a special fund for the entertainment industry, for the cultural industries, because that is how Jamaica's brand has been built. Brand Jamaica is a critical part of how we export goods and services across the land. And we're going to set up a fund for the creative industry now. So the artists, whether you be a DJ or a singer, or whether you be a sound engineer, or whether you just be an influencer on TikTok or Instagram or whatever it may be, or you're a craft person who works with clay or with straw or with wood, this fund will be for you, to help you monetize your talent and take it to the world and help build Brand Jamaica and build our economy. Speaking of culture, we are going to ensure that we have 2 new national heroes. Robert Nesta, Bob Marley, and Miss Lou must become national heroes for their immense contribution to uplifting our culture and taking it to the world. And comrades, when it comes to government and governance, the people of Jamaica are tired of the hanky-panky rip-off business that this government has perfected. They want a government in which the people can have trust and confidence. They want a government of integrity. That is why we are going to support the Integrity Commission. We're going to amend the Integrity Commission Act so that the so-called gag clause, where they can't publish who they're investigating until the final report comes to Parliament, which means that right now in this election, persons were nominated who are under investigation for illicit enrichment, and the people don't know who they are, and that is wrong. So we're going to amend the gag clause to deal with those situations.
See them lying there, wait.
We're going to bring impeachment legislation to amend the Constitution, because we cannot have a repeat of a situation where a sitting MP is caught on video with a stool beating up a woman bad in a car park and nothing to reach him, and he's running back for Parliament again. What can go so?
Sun is on your shoulder. Kill like today, you cannot kill like tomorrow.
To make Jamaica a better place for all of us. And the next PNP government is committed to making a better life for all Jamaicans across the board. So comrades, I'm asking you, come the 3rd of September, please come out and support your candidates of the People's National Party. Put your X squarely beside the head for Dayton Campbell in the east, for Dwayne Vaz in central, and for Ian Hales in the west. And then we will have a happy day. Oh, what a joy it will be when I will be back where we should be, in the winning column under a People's National Party government with Iman Marky G as the Prime Minister. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. One love, comrades. God bless you all.